Hey there! Welcome to the 1 year anniversary of making miniature mythical movie monsters with Mega Blocks. To celebrate this 1 year and 50 subscriber mark, I've made some changes to how these videos look. New camera, new editing, the whole 9 yards. Also, sorry I haven't uploaded a tutorial in a while. I've had a couple of reasons. One is that I've been working on other videos with my friend, and I've linked those videos in the description. The other reason is that this LEGO model is much larger than usual. So large it won't even fit on the turntable I've been using in my other videos. Also, the build takes so long that I've had to split it into 2 videos. So without further ado, here's how to build a LEGO Griffin Part 1. I recently bought these 3 sets, and they contain some pieces that I've never had before. As a result, I think they play quite a big role in the way I built the model. So if you want to build it the same way I did, you will probably need to buy these sets or something similar to them. Alright, so I'll be building this in camera, instead of my usual way, which would just have pictures. Because I've got a new camera that can focus to the exact point I want it to. You let me know in the comments which mode of building you prefer. This is going to be the body. I've decided to build it sideways instead of the usual way that most sets would do, just to, have some variety. So right here we're building, these 2 pieces will be part of the chest. The white pieces are supposed to represent the feathers, and the beige would represent the fur. So we're kind of building a tower starting at the neck. It's going to look a little weird, but once you add the limbs, I spent most of my time perfecting what the limbs look like, and as a result I ran out of really good specific pieces for the body, so I made do with what I had. There's obviously going to be better ways of doing stuff than I did. Like, for example, this. I don't know if this is even a good thing, but it kind of makes the shoulders look a little better. Behind the shoulders. So, yeah, you can see that bit of a curve there. Where that ball and socket joint is where the shoulder will be attached. I'm basically just stacking all the pieces that I had for, as far as beige go. I actually did run out of beige pieces, so the body is going to be quite rudimentary. Now, these other ball and socket joints are going to be for the wings. Now, this is the first time I've ever tried making LEGO wings, and I'm pretty happy with the way they turned out. You'll have to go to the next video to see them. But anyways, the body I think is quite a solid build, even though it's got a whole bunch of weird angles everywhere. What you're going to see here with this, I don't know what you would call that piece with the curve, that's the shoulder blade for the wing. Gives it a good curve, kind of pops out of the body a little more than usual. What's next? Yes, this is going to be where the chest turns into the belly. Obviously these yellow pieces can be whatever color you want because they won't show through. So there. Now you've got a pretty good curve for that. And on the sides it'll turn into ribs. And with that I will be using these pieces. They aren't quite angled correctly to look like ribs, but they're close enough, and they add some variety to the otherwise blank side. Kind of looks a little bit more lifelike, I think, maybe. So yeah, I just put those all around because I have a couple of those to spare and I don't have a lot of regular 1x4 bricks. They kind of go around the back. And here will be the beginning of the 6-pack. So this will be the first. I don't know if Griffin would have a 6-pack, but again, it's just to break up the monotonous blank beige surface. So now we've got basically a 4x4 surface for the body. I don't like how square it looks. I wish I made it a little bit more round, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Alright, here's where things get a little interesting. Recently I've discovered how much I like ball and socket joints because they make the LEGO model really posable. So obviously these ball and socket joints in the front, they were from the sets that I mentioned earlier. And in the back will be some older, larger ball and socket joints. So I'm putting kind of a diamond shape around them so that they're a little more covered up. You'll see when I bring it out. Oh, and here we will finish the six-pack. Great. And as usual, the bottom abdominals are a little bit longer than the other ones. Anyway, where are we? Okay, we're about to add the ball and socket. I really like how the legs turned out. I don't like so much how the body turned out, but you know, it's kind of hidden by the limbs and such. Alright, so you can see how that'll fit in there, and then I'll just cover it up here, and then you've got kind of a hexagon surrounding it, which doesn't at all touch where the socket pops in later on. So I like that. Again, there's a lot of things that I do here that there's probably an easier or more efficient or better looking way, but of course I ran out of pieces, and so I made do with what I had, and this is what it turned out to be. Just adding where the tail will attach eventually. This piece, by the way, is from, you know, one of the sets that I mentioned earlier. It's kind of flipped upside down of what you'd usually see. Pieces that I have a lot of. I think I have like 16 of the pieces where the two studs are facing the other way, and this one is kind of special from the other sets because it's flipped upside down. And then smoothing that out the top, and then I'll be adding the kind of the bumps, kind of like the shoulder blades up front where the body juts out a little bit. Now you'll want to stick that stud into the center hole of that, and then just turn it so that it'll sit at an angle. Just make sure those are symmetrical, and then there's your body. Now for the arms we are at. Now there's 4 different sizes of poles. You'll not want the larger ones. If you only have that yellow size, then that's what you'll have to use. But I'll be using this extra small brown one, which I got in that monkey set. So right now, again, there's better ways of doing this. These are just the yellow pieces that I happen to have lying around. So that's what I used. These claws are from that bird set. So the way I'm building the claw is you can have each individual finger move, but you can also move the whole thing as a wrist, which I like the mobility of that. Okay, here we'll be building the back thumb. Of course I didn't have another claw piece because you only get 6 in that eagle set. So I made my own. It kind of fits because it's a little bit smaller. Okay, so yeah, I had to use Technic pieces because I don't have a lot of yellow pieces otherwise. And what I do here is I'm just plugging the hole so that it's not as see-through as it usually would be. I luckily have exactly 2 of these pieces in white so that they're not distracting in black or red on the set as a whole. Again, more Technic piece, and I'll be plugging the holes so that they don't show as much. And then this piece will be the elbow. I'm just using some cheese slopes to cover up the top side, and then I'll be using this, which I got in one of those sets earlier that I showed, to be the beginning of the bicep. Now you can see that the elbow moves quite well, the fingers all move, it's great. So this will be the shoulder. Again, I'm limited in the pieces that I have, and actually the shoulder I think was the last thing that I tried to make, so it's right at the tail end of how many pieces I had to work with. So this is basically just going to be a kind of a, I don't know, a diamond shape in the front and then a larger odd shape in the back. This 2x3 piece in the front that you see, that's going to be the most outside part, and the part that attaches to the body will go right here after I stack these 2 1x2s on. Then I'll put the socket, and then I'll just need to cover that up so it doesn't go flying when you try to pose it. So I'm using some just regular 1x1 blocks, bricks, whatever. It's pretty rudimentary, but it serves its purpose. And the important thing is that the shoulder doesn't get in the way of the wing flapping. So this actually might be a little bit too big, especially that square in the top left corner there. But it might, it's good enough. So there would be the shoulder. Yeah, it can pivot on the shoulder, pivot in the elbow, pivot in the wrist. So that would be how it would look like if it was folded up for flight. And if it was standing, it would just kind of straighten out a little bit more. You'll have to make two of them mirror each other. For the sake of time, I've only made one. Pop those in the ball and socket joints, and you'll see why I love those pieces now, and why I'll be using them for a lot of other sets in the future. Yeah, so you can point them inward. You can do a lot. You can do a really lot of things with the ball and socket joints. Now we're moving on to the back legs. I'm not that proud of the way the feet turned out, but the way that the ankle is kind of all right. These pieces that I'll be using for the toes are also from the monkey set. You get a lot of them, and I'm really happy about that. Same with this piece. It's kind of unusual, that black piece that I'm using. I haven't had one of them before, and I only get two of them in the monkey set. But yeah. Okay, so this will be the arch of the foot. Those are the toes. Something that most people don't understand about felines or canines is the back leg does not have the knee turned around. That's what you're looking at is actually the heel, the ankle, and the knee is just farther up. So the challenge with building a foot in Lego is to have it posable in the toes, but have it still look like it's part of a whole foot, and not just that the ankle is at the bottom. So here this is the socket that'll join into the body. This will be the thigh. I used a lot of 2x2s stacked on top of each other for this build, and yeah, obviously there's better ways of doing it. This was where I was running out of beige pieces, so again, stack. It's not much more to say about the back legs, except that you'll have to build two of them, and you'll have to mirror each other, and I didn't do that for you because for the sake of time. Now I like that this piece is actually able to fit over top of the previous curve. I like that Lego decided to make those pieces stackable. If this video looks like I'm kind of undecided about how to build it, it's because I actually did forget how to build the leg, and I'm just going from memory because I had to take it apart to build it again for you, right? So that'll be a nice curve there as soon as I put that on. That's a pretty good looking knee, I think. The knee isn't really movable, just the ankle and the hip, so make of that what you will. Now this back piece here that I just put on is kind of flimsy and it doesn't quite fit that well, but okay, and that's the ankle. That's how I envision a feline leg to look in Lego, I guess. So now I'll just be attaching it to the body. I have another one built on the side. So I'll put that on, and this will be the end of part 1. So hope this was enjoyable. I think I'll put in the description a link to the second video, so hope to see you there.